Ooh, we got a good one for you. Today we are talking about macros.
Hey Natty, you want to join the video? Come here, come say hello.
Now, if anyone knows their macros, it's this girl right here. But in all seriousness, we're gonna be talking about macros today. And more specifically, we're gonna talk about just a little bit of brief understanding about what macros are. We're gonna talk about how you can find the right macros for you. And we're gonna talk about how to track macros. What's the best way to do it? If you guys are pumped for today's video, smash the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get straight into it. So what exactly are macros? Well, I mean, they're pretty much the nutritional facts of the food you're putting in your body. When you flip the box around and you're looking at something like this, you'll see, okay, 200 calories. Well, what are those calories made up of? You have your fats, your carbs, and your proteins. Everything else, like your saturated fats, your cholesterol, your sodium, these fall under your micronutrients, which is not something we're talking about today because they're micronutrients. They're not quite as important when you're looking at overall weight gain, weight loss, putting on muscle, things like this. So like I just said, your macronutrients consist of your proteins, carbs, and fats. And each one of those protein, carbs, and fats have a calorie associated per gram with that macronutrient. So in your carbs and your proteins, you're gonna have 4 calories per carb and protein. But in your fats, you're gonna have 9 calories per gram of fat. So that is our brief understanding of macronutrients. Now, if you're gonna track macronutrients, you're gonna need to know how many calories you're taking in and how many calories you should take in. So to try to figure out this number, my best solution for you is to go to calculator.net. So I'll pull that up with you right now. So if we head to, I don't know where that is from. If we go to calculator.net and then it'll bring you to this main page here. And you want to go to the fitness calculators and go to calorie calculator. Put in all of this stuff right here. My age is 25. I am 6 foot 4 inches. I'm literally a giant. 200 pounds. What's that? 200 pounds. And now for your activity, to figure out your base level, you want to set this to not basal metabolic rate, because that'll just tell you like what your body does if you're on bed rest and like literally about to die. So I like to put it to sedentary, little or no exercise. That's all you gotta do. Click calculate. And this tells you your maintain weight, your weight loss weight, and things like this. I have found this to be relatively accurate. It's okay. I mean, this says I'm about 2,400. I found mine to be right around 2,500. And for the purpose of this video, whenever we get into calculations, I'm gonna be basing it off of 2,500 calories. So this is not a end all be all to find your base level maintenance calories, but it should give you a very good idea and a starting point. We have now figured out what macronutrients are. We have figured out what our maintenance calories are. Now we get to decide what our macros are gonna be if we want to bulk and if we want to cut. Let's just go ahead and say that I'm on a cut, because right now I'm on a cut. If you haven't been keeping up with the series, Rip Before Christmas, I'm trying to get Rip Before Christmas and it's going as of right now. But let's get into a little bit of math here and show you the ranges that you want to be in when you're trying to calculate your macros. So the easiest macro to find what you need to hit is protein. If you aim to have right around 1 gram of protein per pound that you weigh, you're gonna be right on point to have a sufficient amount of protein to build muscle, sustain muscle if you're gonna cut, and get stronger. So for me, that's 200 grams of protein a day. Protein to equal 200 grams of protein. We got to figure out how many calories that's going to take up. So you do 200 times 4 because that's how many calories per gram of protein, and that gives you 800 calories. Now let's focus on fats. So we have our fats, and the range we want to be in for fats is 0.3 to 0.4 grams per pound of body weight. So let's just say 200 for both of those. So let's do times 200. We'll just do this both ways here, and we're gonna do this here. So our range comes out to 200 times 0.3. So either 60 grams of fat on the lower end, which is actually kind of high for me personally, to 200 times 0.4 to 80 grams of fat. So now we gotta times both of these by 9 to figure out the calories we need to take in from fats. So 60 times 9 is 540, 80 times 9, 720. So we have our range of fats. We have roughly exactly the amount of protein we need to be eating. Now we just gotta figure out carbs. And the way I figure out my carbs is by taking the calories that I've consumed by fats and the calories that I've consumed by proteins minus my overall calories for the day. So if I am cutting and my maintenance calories is 2,500 calories, I would want to be about 500 calories below that. So let's say at a total of 2,000 calories per day to try and lose weight on a cut. So I'll use my 540, bring this down, and I'll bring my 800 calories down and add them together. So 800 plus 540 equals, I gotta do math, sorry, 1340 calories. Okay, so if I have 1340 calories from my proteins and my fats for the day, let's figure out how many carbs I can eat. 2,000, which is what I wanna hit whenever I'm on a cut, minus the 1300. So we have 660 calories in carbs. So we have the calories of carbs. Now we gotta find the grams of carbs. So we just take that and divide it by 4 because that's how many calories are in 1 gram of carbs. Equals 165 grams carbs. Woohoo, okay. Whew. So let me just lay this out for you. So if I have protein, 200 grams. Fats, we went with the low end, so we have 60 grams. 165 grams. 200 times 4 equals 800. 60 times 9 equals 540. And 165 times 4 equals 660. And when we add all of that up, we get an even 2,000 calories. Okay, is anyone else bored out of their fucking mind? I know I am. This is the absolute best way and most proper way to calculate your macros. If you don't feel like doing all of this, here's what you can do. If you hit your protein macro, so say you have 200 grams of protein, just fill in the rest with protein or with carbs and fats. Don't worry about having to have a specific number of carbs and a specific number of fats. It's just not worth it. So now that we know what macronutrients are, we know how to find our maintenance calories, we know how to find our macros for our maintenance calories and our macros for our cutting or bulking. The bulking, you just take 500 calories, do the exact same math. How are we gonna track these calories? What's the easiest way to track your macros and track your calories throughout the day? What I have found is the easiest way to do it is through an app called MyFitnessPal. If I look, okay, God, I feel like I'm just getting roasted by a lot of things here because I have all these notifications. But if we go into MyFitnessPal here, we'll just check my tracking for the day. So you can see for breakfast, I had this is like a little protein shake I made. And you're able to, you can search stuff in here, or what I like to do, so say I want to add something, let's just say like as a snack, and I'll be able to scan the barcode, like say on this pasta, scan the barcode on the back, and boom, right there. I can weigh it out on a food scale. I do recommend having a food scale. I have one here at home and I have one here or there at work. And I just weigh my food, and once you get in the habit of weighing your food, it doesn't take all that much longer at all. I can say, okay, say I have 70 grams of this pasta here for dinner or whatever. All I can do is change that to 1 gram, put 70 here, 200 calories, mostly from carbs, you're good to go. There's a paid version of this app. Don't need it whatsoever. I have been using this app specifically for about 3 years now, maybe 4 years. Never needed the paid version at all. So once you're finished with all your food tracking for the day, you can pop over, and if you press on the calories of food, you'll be able to see what your macronutrient breakdown is. Crazy enough, I am pretty close to what the math we just did was. 216 grams of carbs, 64 grams of fat, and 210 grams of protein. That's a pretty spot on day for 2100 calories. And like I said, the way I personally do it is I don't track my fats and carbs. I just hit my protein and then stay under or right around my calorie goal. Haven't had any issues with feeling like I need more carbs or need more fats. My body does a great job of regulating itself, telling myself what I need and what I don't really need. So that is pretty much how you track everything, how you find everything. The one tip I want to leave you guys off with is not all carbs and fats and proteins are created equal. As you can see, this is a carb and this is a carb, but not all carbs are created equal. This has about maybe 70, 80 calories in this entire box, spinach, and this box, 200 times 8, so 1600 calories in, I don't know, a fifth of the size. As I always say on this channel, volume eating is one of the biggest keys when you're wanting to lose weight. You're filling up your body with food here, or you're filling it up with nutritious carbs here, but it's not a large spot in your stomach. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something today. If you did, smash the thumbs up button for me, please. And if you have any questions for me down below, I didn't touch on anything that you wanted me to touch on, leave a comment down below. I'll either respond to the comment or just do a whole new video on it. If you guys are excited to see more content, come and sub to the channel. I have plenty of things coming down the pipeline for you. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Peace.